today's tutorial. I've been thinking about getting rid of some resource groups here on my Azure account, and as you can see, I've got just 9 days. You can see my free credit expires in 9 days, and what I don't want to do is incur more costs from Azure because I have not remembered to clear out my resources and VMs that I don't need at all. So to do that, what I've done really is to have a look at my costs, and to do that, of course, let's go to home, and you can go to cost management and billing, and this one subscription, alright, it's a free trial at the moment, it's active. I've spent £18.20 or dollars in your currency, whatever currency you have. I'm now going to free trial here. I see I've got 9 days. I can upgrade to keep going, but I'm a very busy man and I don't always get a chance to log on here to see where things are, and I may forget about it, and that will cost me some money, and something I'm trying to prevent even as I continue to pursue studying more of Azure. So to make sure that you've got the right things in the right place and you don't delete what you don't need to do, first check your resources. But at the moment, whatever is on here I want to get rid of. I'm looking at what's cost me more money, and I can see this LRS data stored. So of course storage costs you more. Everything else is nothing at all. Public address, because I've turned it off, nothing is happening. I've got all these bits not turned on, so I've got those bits not turned on, but of course I've got some VMs here. It can cost me some money, but I want to just blow it all out completely. So what I'll do now is first find out if I've got any VMs running. Always check, have we got any VMs running? Have we got any connected gateways to anywhere else? Because you need to turn them off before you can delete. And there's a way to delete. You can remove your resources by using the GUI or using PowerShell. But let's go and find out if our VMs are running. So click on here, go to virtual machines, and identify the VM resource group membership. So over here, US West VM1 is in Azure Networking RG, and US West VM1. A different one is NEOT Resource Group. You see, so you cannot say US West VM1 and mistakenly take Azure Networking RG and delete the wrong one when another one is called US West VM1 as well. So very important to identify it correctly. But I want to blow all of them off, but I want to make sure that these machines are not turned on. So it says status stopped deallocated, stopped deallocated. It's a virtual machine. Click into it. Make sure again that it says that it is stopped deallocated. That's in here, over there. It's not connected. There's nothing running. Of course, there's a disk attached to it. If I want, I can just delete the disk and forget about it, but I really want to blow it all off completely. So the good news is, if I want to build this all over again, I can just go to home and let's go to my virtual networks, for example. Go into this VNet here, and what I'm looking for available, and I can deploy again. Now, by the way, if you want to go to deployments, always make sure you go to resource group, and in your resource group, as you can see the list here, head over here in the middle and you will see not exploit templates, export template, but deployments. Click on deployments. I've got all my deployments that I've used earlier here, so I can rebuild this from scratch. So I really don't need to have my resources still here. And I can blow them and then build them all over again. So first, identify which resource group you want to get rid of. The name of the resource group is very important. Microsoft makes it quite easy. If I click the delete resource group, it will say Azure Networking RG. So I can copy that, put it here, But then what am I deleting? I'm deleting the storage account, deleting that shutdown script. That's nick the VM's disk, that nick again, public IP address, and an NSG, US West VNet, West Europe NSG, West Europe VNet. So these are all the items I'm deleting. So you need to make sure you're deleting all the right items. I can go ahead and press delete here. Why don't we go on to command line and see if we can do the same thing from there. Can we list all these items? It's called a resource group. So in command line where I am right now, let's open this up a bit more. Okay. So over here, like with Azure, you would always have to use keywords like get, and I'm gonna see if I can get, you know, the AZ resource. So get AZ. When I press enter, what happens? It tells me that I've got a West US. I've got all these bits here. So I can be specific. I mean, I can say, copy that. Copy that. But the keyword so looks like resource group name. So let's see if I can be a little clever. Is that the right command? Let's see if that's true. That is, without knowing the right commands, would this work? Oh, and it works. So I've got a resource group name there. Net resource group. And the tags. So all these things are in the net resource group. What's the US net resource group? Net resource group. Net resource group. So based on just this here, you know, I've been able to pipe out what I needed. So now let's think of location. If it will show me by location called UK South. So I'll just do this. Let's see if I can do location UK South. Does that bring anything? No. Wrong parameter. So let's go over here. Wrong parameter. So let's do that and see if that helps. Of course not. So not every parameter you see there can be used for your Azure. But of course you can do a lot of things here. So let's do the first one we did was a resource group name. We can do a resource name. Pressing enter gives you nothing, but I can just go here and I call it what we had earlier. We had one of these devices here. Let's look for it. So that's a resource name. Right click and paste. And there you have it. So I can identify things here. But of course, without faffing around too much, I'm going to go ahead and remove the resource. Now to do that, like I said, always remember that's resource name. So I want to get rid of this one. I've already checked and no VMs are running. So what I'm going to do first is use the keywords remove Azure RM resource group, and the name of the group paste that, and let's put a nice brackets on here. Now sometimes when you do this, there might be some things there that may stop you from working because it's still running or doing bits and pieces, but you can remove it by force. So you'll pipe this and say remove Azure again RM resource and then group, of course verbose, and use the keywords force, and this will force that get AZRM resource group commandlet to get the resource group and then finally remove it. So it will first get it, but instead of doing remove and remove again, I want it to get it first. So you go and get it first and then apply the commands remove it. So first it's targeting the Azure networking RG, and whilst it's doing that, can we go over here and cancel that for now, and let's refresh that. Azure networking RG. It's networking RG. So I should see things disappearing from here shortly. So if I refresh that, it's still there. Refresh that, it's still there. It's taking a bit of time, but it's definitely doing its work in the background. So we leave it. Alright, so I'll leave that to run and then we'll come back. RM resource group, the name of the group Azure networking RG, and remove it by force has completed. It says true. Let's find out if that's true. I had to run here somewhere. Let's refresh this, and it's empty. There you go. This is how you remove a resource group. With that done, why don't you go ahead and look for another resource group that we want to get rid of. And we have, this is the one that PowerShell is running on, so I won't touch that, but this one here, so it has all these VM skill sets and different things. But let's look at the topology. I'll look at the VNet, and I can see 1, 2, 3. So let's go over here to Network Watcher. And where are you, my friend? Network Watcher, I'll go to topology, and I'll select Net Alt resource group. And I see a resource group that has a skill set Net Alt, but in it I have UK South VNet, and I have UK South VM1, UK South RG VNet. If I can get rid of all this, I'll be happy, because the idea is to get rid of everything. So let's go back again. It's NEAuth resource group. I've copied that. Go back in here. So here we go again. It's going to go ahead and try to remove that NEAuth resource group, which is the one over here. Resource groups. NEAuth. and it's removing these items in here. So it's going to remove this NSG, the VNets, the skill sets, virtual machine skill sets, and DNS, the NICs, the NSGs, the public IP, the VNets, another VM, another public IP, another NSG, another NIC, another disk, and storage account. So all these are expected to be removed, and so you can go ahead and do delete resource group from here, and like I said, copy that into here. That's using the GUI, and press delete. But at the moment you're using the same thing, but instead of doing it from the group, the GUI here, we're doing it on the PowerShell command line. So let's get back when that's done, and we check if everything is gone, and then we run this up. Mute resource group 1, resource group 2. When I go over here and I refresh that topology, of course I hit just a leave page, come back to it, no resource groups found, nothing yet. Resource groups, the basic one that's here, that's where my PowerShell is running from. This is for VM insights, like analytics really. And this is the watcher, the one that views all the topology. So I have blown all this out, and this is how you remove resource groups. One more time, any VMs running? No, there isn't any resource groups. There isn't, except the one that we use for PowerShell. So hopefully you appreciate that. I still have a lot of credits that I can play again until my 9 days is up, and it finishes there. So thanks for viewing, and speak soon. Join the next video where I'll be doing VNet peering between local subnets, and of course I have one for the global, and we do the VPN gateway, and we do other bits and pieces in the next labs. Okay, thanks for joining, and see you soon.